back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson. My co-host Aurelio Martinez. Listen, in the second segment, we want to recap some of the fights that you might not have seen. But let me start off with ESPN early Saturday evening, I should say, afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it, where they had Puerto Rico's Christopher Diaz, who was previously undefeated. He took on Japan's Masayuki Ito for the vacant WBO World Super Featherweight title, and that fight card was held in Kissimmee, Florida. Aurelio, I have to mention to you that Ito is not heavy-handed at all. If he's heavy-handed, he would have stopped Diaz, okay, which was pretty much a shock to me, because Diaz, he comes in highly, acclaimed, undefeated, 23-0, and Ito doesn't hit heavy-handed, but Ito had him a bloody mess. And now the bloody mess came from they had a clash of heads and there was blood, okay, but I mean, man, he basically just beat him up. He beat up Diaz. And the reason I mentioned that this fight, I know it wasn't a big name fight, but the thing is that, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I'm going to ask you in a second, what has happened to Puerto Rican boxers? Okay, because Felix Verdejo,
yeah,
he's dropped off the mat, or his Christopher Diaz dropped off the mat. But let me just show you how clear it was. Diaz held on. Okay, he lost by unanimous decision, but the scores were 116 to 111, 117 to 110, and 118 to 109, which shows you that Ito dominated, just clearly dominated an undefeated Puerto Rican fighter. Okay, just real quickly, you have any opinion on that, or does it matter to you at all? Or my question about what's happened to the Puerto Rican fighters?
That's a good question, because you're right. You're right. The Puerto Rican fighters that were being brought up and being groomed to get to that championship level and to follow the likes of Miguel Cotto and back to Felix Trinidad and Wilfredo Benitez and a whole slew of them. They just haven't stepped up to the plate. Now I don't know. I really don't know. It's not like they're out there. I mean they're out there. Now I know the ones that are in Puerto Rico itself. We know what's going on in Puerto Rico, and it has to have an effect on the training and just the Puerto Rico. But what about the Puerto Ricans that are in New York and back east somewhere? We'll have to keep our eye on that, because you're right. There's fighters out there. There's quality fighters out there. We just need to find out why they're not stepping up.
Okay, now move on. We're going to move on to the fight card that was held on over the O2 Arena in London, England. They started off the fight card with a couple of small fights, but the ones of interest were, once again, Ireland's Katie Taylor. Her promoter is Eddie Hearn. And she started out, and she took on Kimberly Connor of the United States. She stopped her in the third round and totally just dominated her, beat her up, made her look really bad. And afterwards, I thought the big thing was when Katie said she's got big dreams and she's got big goals. She says, I'd love to become the undisputed champion. There's 2 more belts to go, and I'm very, very hungry for them. She's the WBA and the IBF title holder. And the next fight she's coming up, which we mentioned last week, Radio, is October 6th in Chicago. She's going to fight Cindy Serrano, who's the older sister of 5-weight champion Amanda Serrano. Once again, Amanda Serrano had been calling out Katie. That didn't happen, but Katie's going to get her sister Cindy. This is going to be probably one of the bigger fights come on when it all goes down. But I had to mention that just because of the, once again, Katie Taylor, very well familiar with her. Our girl up in Boulder, who's the owner of the Corner Boxing Club, who am I thinking of? Help me here. Oh, man. Boy, I tell you, this guy here, he's something else. Anyway, Kerry Berry. Okay, Kerry Berry had fought Katie Taylor years ago. Kerry Berry was the first one who told me that, that Katie Taylor is the real deal. We have to pay attention to that. Most of the women's boxing I don't really care about, but that's one we do care about because kind of I have a little background. Let's move on to the fight that was really a good fight that led into the championship fight. We had Derek Chisora, where he took on Carlos Takam, and a fight that was just totally a thrilling, exciting fight. These two big boys went at it all the way. You basically could have said that they fought in a phone booth or radio because they just went toe to toe. Takam was ahead in the fight, and as Chisora, as he always does, he lays on the ropes, kind of conserves his energy. Takam allowed him to do that. Then finally, it was in the eighth round. Chisora threw one of those big right hands, dropped Takam, and Takam got to his feet, got dropped again, and he was out. Okay, referee stopped it, and afterwards, there's another guy who's not. I don't know. Some people like him, but Chisora comes out doing his shit, talking like he was really dominating, and he actually said, if you could remember, I don't know if you remember when he said, I rope-a-dope this guy, and then I took him out. And I'm like, dude, the reason you were on the ropes is because you have no stamina. And see, that's why he can't stand with the big boys. They won't allow him to stay on the ropes. Make him come out and fight. Okay, so I don't know. Did you have a chance to see that fighter out, or did you hear about it?
I didn't. Yeah, I read about it.
What did you read about it?
Well, I read that he came and he did what he was waiting. He was waiting. Like you say, you play possum. You get back on the ropes and you just kind of wait and eventually your punch comes, and that's what happened in this fight. Eventually.
Well, to be fair, Chisora's that guy, and he's always been that guy. If you allow him to lay on the ropes and sucker you in, if he wants to call a rope-a-dope, he can. But if you allow him to lay there and kind of shoot your wad, okay, he's always dangerous. I mean, just make sure he's always dangerous. But he's really no factor.
That's that second tier down below the big guys. Because if he does that with Wilder or with AJ,
they're not going to allow him to do
with
that.
AJ or even Dylan Whyte, I mean, they're not going to go wild while he's at the ropes and follow that game. They're going to pick their punches, and he'll go down.
Now, speaking of Dylan Whyte, this is the main event where we had England's Dylan Whyte taking on New Zealand's Joseph Parker, your boy. And that was back-to-back exciting heavyweight fights, man. I'm telling you, Radio, it's too bad, once again, that they have this thing where we can't get fights around the world, unless they're United States guys competing in them. But it was really a good fight. I have to say one thing, and I don't think anybody will dispute this. Dylan Whyte is a dirty fighter. Dirty fighter. He hit your boy Joseph Parker a couple times with low blows. Finally, in the third round, the referee warned him about it. He should have warned him. When he warned him that time, he should have been taking a point from him. But Dylan Whyte, man, every dirty trick in the book. Elbows, forearm to the throat. He does all of that, okay? And Joseph Parker, maybe he's much too much of a nice guy, I guess. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But finally, fatigue got the better of Whyte and Parker with just a minute left in the final round. Okay, now let me go back. Parker got dropped in the fourth round, but that was a clash of heads where he went down. The referee called it a knockdown. He got knocked down in the ninth round. But in the 12th round, Dylan Whyte was dead tired. Joseph Parker was dead tired. But Parker came on, man, and with 30 seconds left, he dropped Dylan Whyte. And then Dylan Whyte had to hang on, and he won the fight. But the final scores were 113 to 112, 114 to 11, and 115 to 110. But he had to hang on. And, Joseph Parker, we know he has stamina issues. Dylan Whyte showed me that he has stamina issues too. Now, Dylan Whyte is in position to fight either Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua. He can't stand with either one of them when he has these stamina issues, because if they do get into little mini wars, he won't have nothing left. Okay?
Stamina is not going to be his problem when he gets in the ring with any one of them three. Okay,
Two,
yeah. Wilder or AJ.
That's two.
Yeah, stamina won't be a problem.
What's the problem?
The problem is going to get hit and get knocked out. It'll probably be early, 3 rounds before he even has a chance to get tired. He's not. He can't compete with them two. Them two have to fight each other. And that's all there is to it, because it doesn't matter who they fight. It's not going to be a competitive fight. They have to fight each other. That's all there is to it. Now, going back to Josh, because we got a few seconds. Parker, going back to Parker, it's a shame, because Parker actually is a very skilled fighter. It's a skilled fighter, and he should be up at that level with the AJ and the Wilder, but it's not Parker. It's his team. Now I'm going to say this, okay? If Parker, he's done, okay? He's done. 10 seconds, but let me finish my thought.
Please.
Parker is done, okay? He can go get a job now, Okay, he can do whatever he wants to do, but he's done unless he takes a complete bath with his team, and I'm talking about everybody on his team, from his trainer, his promoter, all his handlers, anyone that's been taking care of his business. He's got to take a bath and he's got to just do a complete wash, okay? Because it's his company. When you become a professional fighter, you open your own company, and he's letting other people run his company, okay? As a professional boxer, you cannot do that. You have to take charge of your company. Your company, if it fails, you got to put it on your shoulder. And Joshua and Parker, he's not doing that. The people around him are causing failure.
Now, wait a minute. I want to make sure I got this. So, you telling me that every boxer, professional boxer,
Yep.
that whatever happens in their career, it's all on him?
Because that's their company.
Okay.
You open up a company, you run the company for success, whether you're selling napkins or whether you're selling fish fry or whatever you're doing. It's your company. You have to do and make the decisions to make that company successful. Same thing with the professional boxer. When he becomes a professional boxer, he needs to hire the best qualified people that can help his company succeed. Now, naturally, he's the one in the ring that's got to do it, but you can't allow bad advice. You can't allow bad decisions, and if that happens, it has to be on you.
Well, let me just say this to you. Why I want to disagree with you, not 100%. I just want to disagree with you on one thing. Joseph Parker didn't have one problem in his professional boxing career until he had to take a show on the road. That's when everything started falling apart for him. Down there in New Zealand, and remember, nobody would come down there and fight him, so he had to get on the road. In New Zealand, he's blasting dudes out. That's when you became a fan of his. He was blasting out everybody. When the decision finally came that nobody's going to come here, we got to go to them, that's when things started to change. I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say this. I think that if you get Dylan Whyte to come, if they had a rematch clause, and we know they didn't, but if he would have a rematch clause and then he has to go to New Zealand, I think Joseph Parker blasts him out. It's just the comfort of home. For some guys,
sure, there's home.
It's the comfort of home. And he hasn't had that in his last 4 fights.
Okay,
and those are fights that all have been career defining for him.
Okay, so whose fault is that? That's his fault.
Why is it his fault?
Okay, well, you get a team that can bring people there. People will go fight him in New Zealand.
No, we talked about that earlier, man. If there's not money to back you,
that's the key.
Well, how do you get that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. How do you get with the now Heyman? How do you get with these other the top rank? How do you get with these people that can afford to bring people home? Or if they have a show in Vegas or something, it's one of their promotions. You automatically become the A side. Okay, you have to make these decisions. And what I'm saying is he had the talent early in his career to get that. Okay, but he stood with this team in Australia, which
New Zealand.
New Zealand, I'm sorry. He had his team in New Zealand that wasn't capable of upping his career, of doing that, because he had the talent. And as you see now, it looks to me like he's been pretty lazy in his last couple of fights. Okay, so what does that tell you? He's just not getting the adrenaline to go in there and train and become here and get that killer instinct to go in there and do what he has to do.
I'm going to disagree, because I just think there's something still left to loyalty. And you're saying, no, loyalty be damned. So you're saying every fighter, when you get to a certain point, if you're beyond everybody around you, you got to go with somebody else. I'm saying to you, I'm asking you,
he's at that
are you opening the door to the possibility that Al Heyman, that Bob Arum, that Floyd Mayweather, that Lou Duva, Kathy Duva, Lou DiBella, none of these people contacted him? That everybody just says, hey, you know?
Well, they can't. He's locked in with whoever he's locked in. They can't.
That's okay. Just my point.
Okay.
He's locked in with his people from New Zealand.
Well, look what happened with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia was locked. He was
off for 2.5 years.
But he knew he had to make that move, and look what happened.
Yeah.
It worked for him.
Well, he's one of the few that works for.
Well,
remember, we saw that.
You stand your ground.
We saw that go with Nonito Donaire, and you saw how that turned out.
Why take another loss? Why take another loss? Why take another bad? You just ruin your career. Okay.
That's good. That's a good point for us to debate one time. We'll come up with the careers of other fighters. But hey, that's the end of our second segment. We'll be back in our third segment, which is always our fan favorite. We probably should have saved some of this for that, which is our open topic. But we'll be right back with our open topic, and in the meantime, every segment of Inside Boxing, keep your hands up.